Impact Statement tonight, a Hispanic group called Prrresente Action has put out this ad.
Sonia Sotomayor está a punto de ser la primera latina y la primera puertorriqueña a servir en la Corte Suprema de los Estados Unidos. Es un momento de orgullo para nuestra comunidad. Sin embargo, los líderes republicanos insisten en atacarla.
She doesn't have any intellectual depth. She's an angry woman. She's a bigot. She's a racist.
Eso fue el líder republicano Rush Limbaugh. Esto es un insulto a todos los latinos y americanos. Le preguntamos al congresista republicano Mica si denunciaría las palabras de Limbaugh. Su respuesta, silencio.
But what exactly is Prrresente Action? Joining us now from D.C., our internet cop Amanda Carpenter from the Washington Times has been investigating. All right, I'm going to withhold comment until you tell us what you found out about Prrresente Action.
Sure. This group is sponsored by something that's called the Citizen Engagement Laboratories, which seeks to be an incubator. That's what it calls itself, an incubator for identity-based campaigns. That's what they're seeking to do. They're seeking to build people based on different identities, in this case Hispanic groups, for political advocacy. And one of the co-founders of Citizen Engagement Laboratories came to us from MoveOn.org. His name is James Rucker, and he used to be in charge of grassroots campaigns for MoveOn.org. So
all right, so MoveOn.org's tentacles come right on out of their far left headquarters into identity politics. Now, just to be clear, identity politics is basically running people from mostly minority precincts, minority people, and then trying to get them elected based upon intimidation, would you say?
Well, I think they would argue that they're trying to build a coalition. In this case, they are running this ad in Republican Mica of Florida's district and putting it on the radio. You know, he's a safe Republican by most standards, was reelected by 63% and is up again in 2010. So I think they're trying to recycle the old anti-Rush Limbaugh talking point, testing the waters.
Well, no, they're trying to tie in Mica with Limbaugh's racist comment. That's what they're trying to do. And now you could tie in, they could call me up and say, all right, what do you think about Limbaugh's comment? I'm not going to say anything to these people. Why would I bother saying anything to Prrresente Action? That's insane. Well, they could do anything, you know. Why would anybody say anything to those people? So that's obviously nakedly what they're trying to do. But they also are presenting Mr. Limbaugh as a Republican leader. That's not true. Right. You know, they're doing a lot of untoward things here.
Right. I think they're seeing an opportunity with the Sotomayor confirmation hearings to recycle this old anti-Limbaugh talking point, paint him as an establishment Republican leader. I think it's very noteworthy that they use leader in that. That's a name reserved for minority leaders.
But it doesn't matter to Limbaugh, though. It doesn't matter what Prrresente Action thinks about Limbaugh. That's not going to hurt him one way or the other. So, but the end zone game is to hurt Mica, to hurt this congressman. Sure. Do they have a candidate going up against him who is a minority?
No, he is doing well for the most part. I did talk to his staff, and they said that they did see an uptick in phone calls to their district office, but the overwhelming, that's what they told me, overwhelming majority of them came from people who are not their constituents, primarily from people in California.
But why pick on Mica? See, I don't know what this move, look, I get the MoveOn thing. I get them using the Hispanic organization to advance their far-left agenda, stealth-wise, because unless we report this, nobody would know. MoveOn was behind it. They wouldn't know. Okay, I get all that. But why single out Mica unless there is a minority candidate they want to throw up against him in 210?
Well, maybe that's coming up. Quite frankly, their staff is mystified by it because he doesn't, remember, he doesn't vote even on Sotomayor, and he's on the Transportation Committee.
Yeah, there's no reason to pick out Mica in Florida unless there's some other big strategy.
Well, another group promoting this campaign is the Progressive Campaign for Change Committee, which seeks to elect liberal candidates, of course. And so I just think they see an opening to remind Hispanic voters in Florida that the Republicans may be racist and once again time to Rush Limbaugh. I think it's an easy one-off campaign they can fire off. These ads are easy and cheap to create. You get a hit on Politico, Huffington Post picks it up, Daily Kos picks it up, and it spreads around the internet, and they ask for campaign donations.
All right. Amanda, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
I'm not a crook.